Previously, we put together a much more richer and broad, if you will, microphone class here. And properties now are a little bit cleaner, and we have an initializer and so forth. So this is great. But notice something. Every time I need to create a Blue Yeti or any type of microphone, I always have to confirm to the initializer. Which one? This one here. So I can no longer come here and say something like this. Let just mic be equal to microphone like this. I cannot call, as you can see, an empty initializer as we used to do before, because it will always force me to add the color, to add the brand name, and so forth, because that's what we specified here. So although this helps us out in the sense that now we have a structured way of creating all our microphones, but there are times that I may want to have a microphone that's just a normal microphone, meaning, in fact, I can get rid of this. Going back to something like the first thing the microphone color will have is going to be blue, right? The very, say, generic microphone. And the type is going to be non-condensed, okay? And the brand name is just going to be some general brand name like that, okay? As you saw before, this still works fine, but even though we are able to leave this as it is, we have a generic properties there, they are always being overridden because at this point here, whenever we create any object out of a microphone, we have to pass the actual parameters there, okay, for our properties. How do we then say, okay, whenever we want to create a microphone, we have an option of creating a very generic, meaning an empty initialized object, as opposed to always having to do this? Well, it turns out there is a way to do that. Well, we can create another initializer here called init. However, in this initializer, we're not going to pass anything, and it's not going to have anything inside of it like that. Now, this technically looks good and works. However, there's something else we need to do. The first thing that needs to happen for our init here is that we're going to have to call this init whenever we are creating this microphone. So we're going to call the empty general initializer, default initializer. How do we do that? Well, I can't just go say init like this and call, okay? We have a problem here because it's missing super at initializer invocation. What is this super thing? Well, super thing just means that when we talk about classes, which we haven't really talked much about inheritance here, but super just means the main class. What is the main class here? Well, in this case is microphone.